네, 안녕하세요. 맥주에 대한 모든 것 명품맥덕입니다. 오늘은 굉장히 특별한 게스트분을 모셨는데요. 오늘 개봉하는 영화 람빅, 시간과 열정의 맥주의 감독님이신 다니엘 루이즈 감독님이십니다. Could you introduce yourself to our viewers?
Hello, my name is Daniel Ruiz. I'm from Pamplona, but I live in Barcelona, Spain. In some years I'm making videos about craft beer in Spain and Europe, and I made a documentary about Lambic beers.
So this is a typical question, but how did you first fall in love with beer?
Maybe 20 years ago, I didn't drink beer because I only taste industrial beer, common beer, and I didn't like it. After that, I got into a kind of a homebrewers club, and I tried some beers, and I thought, oh, this is different, maybe I like more.
Okay, then Lambic isn't a style that everyone appreciates normally. What was your first experience with Lambic, and did you enjoy it at the first place?
The first Lambic I tasted was industrial, sugar-added, pasteurized Lambic. At that moment, I don't really taste before too sour drinks. But after that, from the same brand, I taste the traditional one, the eau de gueuse. And I enjoy because of the dryness, because of the sourness, the balance. But my first good experience, I think, Armand de Velder at Driefonteinen in Belgium. He opened a bottle maybe with 15 years old. I thought, oh, this is fantastic. For me, was my first great experience.
Okay, then I read that you started a project called La Salvatge a few years ago. Yeah. It appears to be a wild beer blendery. Can you tell me more about this project?
Yeah, at 2018, some friends who had a house on the mountains proposed me to make a kind of beer project in that house. And with my partner from Barcelona, we were thinking about make a kind of blendery like in Belgium. I produce in other small brewery and ferment in that kind of cellar. A minimum 1 year fermentation in oak wood barrels.
Wow.
Normally I use red wine barrels and white wine barrels, most of them from Catalonia's label. Now I am using Oloroso cherry wine barrels.
Yes.
And ratafia barrel. Ratafia is a kind of liquor of walnuts and herbs from Catalonia, typical from Catalonia.
Wow.
I made a kind of experiment with that barrel that I will release in 2 months, I think, for winter. That beer is 2 years old mixed fermentation, and after that 4 months with 330 grams of blueberries by liter.
Wow, then this beer was brewed like 3 years ago, almost?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Then let's try it.
Okay, may I open? May I
yes,
pour?
please.
Yes. Silence?
Yes.
Don't expect a cantillon. This is not Lambic. This is wild from Catalonia, or Catalonia's wild.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cambe.
Oh, yes, Gambe.
Cambe.
Very fruity.
Fruity, a little bit funky, smells wild.
Sour.
Sour, but not too sour.
Yes.
We are working. We want to reach in the future Lambic quality, but at the moment we are in our way.
So this project is from your love for Lambic.
For sure.
Wow.
And now I bought a building. At the moment nobody's knows at Spain.
Wow, yes.
But I bought a building to make my new blendery, brewery and beer garden. And also a kind of a small hotel. You're invited to come.
Really?
But
We will go, for sure.
let me 2 years to finish that.
Cheers, okay. Wow, that sounds amazing. And I really love this beer. I mean,
Really?
it's complex, but it has that blueberry like tones, but not like overwhelming. I think it's really balanced with the beer and the fruits.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's talk about your movie then. Like, when did you decide to make a film about Lambic, and why did you want to make it?
Maybe 10 years ago, a friend, he invites me to go with him to Brussels for 1 week. We visit Armand, Driefonteinen, we visit Cantillon too. And when I saw that passionate guys, I thought I had to do something. You know, I'm working in visual. I make videos. I need to do something in relation to that. So I decided some years later come back to Belgium, produce long documentary. The reason was that there were no videos about Lambic on internet. I only could find BBC channel from the 90s. With Michael Jackson, the writer, not the singer, going to Belgium to explore about Lambic beers in a 20 minutes chapter. I think maybe it's a good opportunity to make that.
Then you made the movie to show the passion of the Lambic producers.
For sure, the title, you need time and you need passion. This is not profitable businesses. You have to produce a lot of beer and to keep storage a lot of barrels. You have to have a lot of money invested, stop it for years. So that kind of risky business is only with passion. It's only made with passion. But if you want to make a profitable, you need a lot of money. If you want to be happy, you don't need a lot of money.
Okay. Lambic is a unique style in its own right, and while one could make a movie solely on the technical side of brewing Lambic, but you chose to focus on the tradition, the people, the culture of Lambic. What was the most important element you wanted to showcase about Lambic, and how did you show it in your film?
I think I wanted to film some different philosophies around Lambic beers. Mostly of them are traditional, but some of them are looking for modern, industrial, and I look for the tradition. If we learn about our tradition, we can see at the future and think to the future, a more sustainable future. Because industrial projects only think about numbers, and I think we are destroying our planet with this thoughtless. So maybe we can look back to our origins, to our traditions, to see to the future. And this is one point I would like to talk in the documentary. And another is that if you want to, for example, happiness, it's very important to focus on something, and for sure you need passion for it. If you work in a job that you are not passionate about it and you expect to results as soon as possible, you will be always stressed, depressed, and you never will be happy, I think. I think you understand me because you work in what you want.
Yes. Yes. The favorite part of the movie was when you introduced the two Lambic producers, maybe Token and Decam, if I remember correctly. And they had opposite view on how Lambic should be served. How do older producers feel about these changes in Lambic scene, and how do you see it?
Some of them accept that kind of changes because they think it's good for the business, and some of them don't accept because they think it's not good for the reputation of that beer. There is a sentence in the documentary that Karel said. It's a question. Will you keg a champagne wine in a keg? Will you serve champagne in a keg? No. Why? Because champagne is a quite expensive and luxury and high level beverage. So we want that kind of beer in that level, not in that other level of kegging and pouring in bars. Is his reason, I think, about this.
Natural wine has recently become a big hit in the Korean market, and Lambic is also gaining attention among wine drinkers as well. I believe Lambic is a style of beer that challenges traditional beer conventions. I think most of Lambic producers think the same way. I recall talking with Armand a few years ago, and he wanted to show that high quality Lambic can be better than even finest wines. Likewise, some producers are starting to market their products in a more luxurious manner. What do you think about this change, and how do you see the future of Lambic?
I think natural wine and Lambic beers are quite similar. Winers don't want to accept that beer could be in the same level of wine. Yesterday I met a wine sommelier who works in China, from Italy. He told me that wine always has been the best beverage, the best drink, and beer is like for the low classes, you know?
Yes.
I argue with them, I discuss. I told him, maybe you never taste a good beer. I think the future of Lambic can take two ways: the most profitable industrial way and the way of artisans, crafts, beer geeks, wine lovers too. That way is to make good quality beers and selling bottles, re-fermenting bottles.
Lambic is one of the most interesting beer styles, however, in my opinion, there are a few other styles that are equally interesting, such as like Saison, Trappist, Kolsch Alt, and so on. Do you have any plan to make films about these or other beer styles in the future?
Actually, I'm making and editing a documentary about terroir concept. You know in wines
Yes.
what means terroir?
Yes.
Looking for that concept. Like Lambic, for example, is a terroir beer. Here I try a lot of IPAs with American Yakima Valley hops, but it's the same IPA I can drink in Barcelona, I can drink in London, Budapest, New York, or I don't know, South Africa. You know, it's the same beer style, maybe with the same malts and with the same hops for sure. Citra, Mosaic, Cinco, Amarillo. That actually is beginning me to get bored.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Which is your favorite Lambic style?
For big girls.
Goose.
Yeah. I like bubbles, I like foam, I like the smell, I like the freshness of goose and well-balanced goose too. But I think depending on the moment. For example, if you gave me a dish of duck, maybe I would like to taste creek. If I am with Karel Godot, maybe I would like to drink the flat lambic directly from the cask. I think there is a moment for a beer.
Then which Lambic brand do you prefer the most?
Actually, I think it is between Driefonteinen and the Camp Brewery.
Then what Lambic surprised or shocked you the most?
My favorite lambic I've ever tasted, Allemand Gaston Goose from Driefonteinen.
How do you feel about aging Lambics?
I like the lambic of the year, young. I prefer not to age too much. Why? Because life is now. You don't know what will happen tomorrow. You
Yes.
keep a lot of bottles. Maybe another person will drink when you were away.
Yes.
So enjoy the moment and drink all.
Right now you're here in Korea for almost 2 weeks and you have been to some Korean breweries. Were there any places that you liked?
I went to Busan, Tunbrau, Colored, Gorillas, Fritz bar, and here I visit Chill Hops, Magpie, Beerbana, and the Beer Post. I enjoy a lot in all the places, but the beer I liked most was not a wild beer. It was a barley wine by Colored, maybe with nuts or almonds. It was so great. I could buy some bottles, but they told me are sold out.
Yeah. Do you have anything to say to Korean Lambic drinkers?
We are brothers, we are friends. We can meet everywhere in the world. I hope you enjoy watching the movie and drinking Lambic at the same time. And I hope we can meet in the future. Come to Spain, come to Barcelona, come to my festival, Rustic and Wild. I organize every year in north from Barcelona, in a small village. Next year, 16th of March.
16th of
You are
March.
invited.
Thank you very
Respect Korean people. Go Korea.
그럼 영상은 여기까지 하도록 하겠습니다. 감사합니다.
감사합니다.
바이바이.
아이. 람빅 시간과 열정의 맥주. 보러 오세요.
Wow, that's great.